The day that Roosevelt enters the White House in March 33 is really the worst moment of our lives. The stock market has fallen 85%. So there is over 25% unemployment. The people who have jobs are frequently working part-time. And now when we think of the Great Depression, we frequently think of like men in snappy Hamburgs waiting in line to get bread, those beautiful black and white pictures. But it was a really gruesome time. And one of my stories that I felt really heartrending is that there's a little 12-year-old girl, and she's in school. And she says, "Oh, I just can't even think about school. I'm just so hungry." And she starts sobbing and sobbing. And the teacher says, "It's okay, honey. I'll let you go home and you can have something to eat." And the little girl says, "I can't. It's my sister's turn to eat." So this is how people were tearing out ornamental woodwork in their home to have fires. And they really felt completely bereft and alone. And the banks were failing at an incredible rate. People were becoming terrified that their life savings was vanishing, and they were pulling all their money out of the banks. And when Roosevelt took office, 10,000 banks had failed. And this was the first thing he had to take care of. So he did his very first fireside chat, coming onto the radio and listening as something like 90 million people listened in. He said, "You know, it isn't the bank's fault what's going on. It's your fault. When you put your money in a bank, they invest it. They don't just have it in a vault, and it's much better to have it in a bank than under your mattress. And this is all just a problem because you're afraid." And for 72 hours, the Treasury Department monitored how all the still living banks were doing and where they could send a bunch of newly printed dollars to save the ones that were about to fail. But they never had to. That one speech fixed the banking crisis. More people put money in the banks than took out, and that was over. And that was the profound impact he had on the American public.